You already know who it is. It's your guy back at it, StreamYard. We're ready to rock and roll. We actually got a live broadcast about to start up in a few minutes, so give us a few. You're going to see. All right, we got our guests in the building right now. As you can
What's
see,
good?
we
What's
got our
good?
guy,
What's good?
Maurice Styles. Thanks. Basically, we're going to be talking about, the summer series after dark. We're going to be talking about the state of the nightclub during the pandemic. So that's what the topic is today.
Yeah, man. What's good?
So we got our guy Maurice Styles. He could
What's good? So what's good? What's good? We gonna start?
Yeah, we're gonna start, man. So basically, just intro
So yeah,
yourself.
I'm
Just let people
Omari
know who you
Styles,
are. I mean,
man.
I know who you are, but let
That's
the
my
people
page
know.
name, Omari Styles. So you can look me up. I got some content on there myself. Um, I've known this good brother here for quite a while, and we're just here to give you some game, man. Just to let you know our perspective on the current situation going on right now, and take it from there.
So as we all know right now, currently we're in a pandemic. We don't even need to mention the name of it, but we're in a pandemic right now. 2020 pandemic. Everybody knows what that is. So depending on what city you live in, some clubs have opened up, some clubs haven't. What do you think the state of the nightclub is, and what do you think this is going to go post, or what do you think is going to happen? 2020 has been a very unusual year. It started off pretty interesting on this side. It was starting off pretty smooth, and this pandemic hit. So, like, you've been to a million clubs, you know the club scene. What do you think is going to happen? Where do you think the clubs are going to open? North America, we know in some states, such as Texas, LA, Florida, there's been clubs opening up slowly but surely. You think this side and the East Coast, along, you know what I mean? New York, Boston, Toronto. Do you think this is going to open up?
Well, we'll see. I know that we're at stage one right now. I think only the GTA, and I think there's one other region maybe that is still in stage one, so we can't do much yet. But I feel like it's only a matter of time at this point before it reopens up. And I just feel like they're gonna get everybody kind of prepped for the second, whatever you want to call it, wave or whatever. So they're gonna give people a little bit of freedom, let them stretch their legs, get back in the club, do their thing. I think it'll go as far as people getting out to the club, yes. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna last too long because they're gonna create a second type of scare per se, and
Yeah.
that's why I look at it. I think the East Coast will definitely open back up, if not for a long time, for a little bit of time,
Okay.
because a lot
So
of businesses are suffering. It gets into economics, right? A lot of people are losing money, you know. So only so long they can get bailed out. Uh,
it's true.
you know.
It's true. You're 100% right on that. So as far as like we've seen Las Vegas open up, we haven't seen any of the clubs, but we have seen the strip. So like what do you see? What do you think the future is in game? Like, where do you think game is gonna go as far as nightclub scene and whatnot? Like, what do you, like? It's been kind of like we went from the era of like cell phones and clubs and being able to approach different females and being able to have conversation with them to the point where now with social media has changed the dynamics of the nightclub scene to the point where people in the clubs are kind of like it's just like kind of like everyone's on their cell phones pulling out their phones and basically on Snapchat, Instagram, and everyone's showing off the life, and people are not really dancing anymore like the way they used to dance in the clubs and whatnot. So like, where do you think it's gonna go? Do you think it's gonna stay in that realm, or do you think it's gonna even go to a whole new realm, or like where do you see the climate of the
Um,
club?
to be honest with you, I just feel like as long as you got that hunger, as long as you got that drive, as long as you got that zest, as long as you're not showing a lot of fear of rejection and stuff like that, then you got to just put in that work. As long as you put in your numbers, you put in your hours. What do they say? It takes 10,000 hours to become an expert in something. So I feel like trends come and trends go. There's gonna be nights you're gonna be in a club full of people Snapchatting, but if the next night you might be in a club where there's nobody Snapchatting. It just depends on how much hours you're willing to put in, how much hours you're willing to put in of work, and so long as you're ready to put in that work, you'll find what you're looking for. Absolutely,
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I feel like even though there's a big trend of social media taking over, I feel like as long as you're in those atmospheres long enough, you'll find a way to navigate and you'll find results.
do you think like I know with social media, like people don't know that we've been myself and you, we've been going to the club for we could say at least 15 years now. We've been in and out of clubs for at least 15 years now. So we started really young, and we've been
Facts.
doing this teenage years going
Yeah.
to clubs and whatnot. So it's kind of like we've seen the changes. We've seen the club go from basically every approach you go to and people cooperating, females cooperating to the point where it's just like now a lot of females are becoming antisocial due to technology and whatnot, and technology being able to like shift the minds of people and people just being able to learn how to not knowing how to socialize the way they used to socialize and stuff like that. And a lot of people being on their guard, like, oh, how many likes do you have? Let me see your social media. Let me see your Instagram. Let me see your Twitter. Let me see your Snapchat. Let me see your whatever, your YouTube or whatever. Let me see whatever you have and let me see who you are. And that's how I'm gonna rank you, or that's how I'm gonna rate you from that scale from your club on social media to the point where it's just like a lot of people just even in the club like, hey, what's your phone number? You know what I mean? We've seen it a million times. Oh, yeah, uh, give me your social media. It's like your social media. What? It's like, yeah, I need your social media. I don't want your phone number. It's like, what's going on? So basically, we're starting to see we've seen that dynamic shift what years would you say that started to, you noticed it started to shift?
I would say anywhere around 2012 to about a full out just I remember personally the thing that was doing it for me that was kind of making me say, yo, shit is really changing is when guys used to hug girls in the club. To be like, see a girl that they know and they would just run up to her and hug her. I remember that being like a turning point for me. It was like, whoa, this is really getting different. This whole social media thing is kind of, you know, changing the dynamics because yeah, like I
Yeah,
remember at one point in time it was like a free for all in the club. Guys were just
yeah,
going in there to, grab numbers and go, pull girls and go. Now it's
yeah,
like, or at that point, 2012 and beyond, maybe up, 2014, 2015, it
yeah,
was kind of like full fledged implemented. Now it's like, yo, guys are just going to the club to see a girl that they see a girl that they know, and it's like they have to go up to them and like try and like be their bodyguard for the night or try and hug them and watch over them and
it's
all this
ridiculous.
type of like this different type of behavior. Like a different animal just came into the club. I think starting in maybe 2012, 2014, 2015. I feel like it was kind of like, okay, is this is here to stay. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so I'll say about that time, and now it's just fully implemented now.
yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I think around 2012, I started seeing the shift in a lot of things. I think the first social media platform that I started noticing that people were using was Twitter at the time. And then Twitter started to become prevalent. And then after Twitter, Instagram, and now Snapchat, now it's just like a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So it's kind of like people need to understand. I know people are going to see this video here, this stream here, and they're going to be like, "Oh wow, I grew up in that era. Like all I know is social media." Well, let me explain to you guys. Post social media, or prior to social media, I should say, when you go to the club, a lot of times, a lot of the girls were they didn't have social media, so you basically became a person of mystique when you approached a female. The female was like, who is this guy? I've never seen this guy before. He sounds very different. Or the way he comes across and the way I like his aura, because at the end of the day, it gave you a mystique. You know what I mean? They didn't know who you were. But with social media and basically putting your life out, it's like basically a collage of your whole entire life. So they see every single thing you post, every moment you record, everything you do. And at the same time, they rate you off of that alone. The reality, sometimes they don't even know you as a person, but they just look at that, and that's to them, that's enough for them to be able to be like, oh, I know this person. But the reality is they don't know you. So it's like post social, prior to social media, bro, the club scene was, it was literally a free for all. You go to a club any night, meet different females. Sometimes you may go to a club, you may see the same females and stuff like that, but maybe that was their local spot or whatever. But didn't matter where you went, you were always meeting different people. And at the end of the day, you had a mystique to you. So you had to know as long as you were able to have some sort of game, you were able to spit some sort of talk, or you knew how to chat. The girls would be like, okay, you know what, this guy's not bad at all. You see what I'm saying? Like he knows what he's doing, or she'll be like, oh, I'm into this guy. You know, he sounds different. So now it's just like a whole totally different ball game.
Yeah, just to
Yeah,
elaborate
man.
on
So
that, I feel
outside
like
of that
the
though, like
mystique,
what
the
would you
mystique
say?
is real. The
Right.
mystique is real. That's really real.
Go
Because
ahead.
there's a good show that used to come on in the early 2000s
Mhm.
called Keys to the VIP.
Yeah,
That used to come on
yeah,
MTV. I think it
that's
was.
right.
That show was really, really good. That show kind
That's
of
right. I think it was Comedy Network.
sorry, you're right. Comedy Network. Comedy Network. Yes,
Yeah,
that show was really good. I used to really watch that show, and just kind of like if yeah, I remember even shows like Blind Date. Like there was a lot of shows back then that used to kind of like or not even okay before Keys to the VIP. You had Blind Date and a Lemon Date and
yeah,
stuff like that. Where it
yeah,
just kind of like
yeah,
it just kind of showed men per se, like guys, dudes, whatever, or just guys,
yeah.
just kind of like how to move in the club. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a pre-social
That's right.
media thing. It's just kind of like how the guys, you go to the club to have fun with your buddies, or you go there to pick up girls, whatever the case
That's right.
is. But you're not necessarily. Like, I feel like the dynamic changed as you kind of, as you said.
Yeah,
So I feel like a
yeah,
good show that if anybody ever wants to check out, that like kind of shows where we kind of came from versus what it is now would be keys to the VIP. I
Yeah.
felt like
Keys
it
to
was
VIP.
it was really like a competition, not necessarily a competition versus anybody, but versus yourself. Like it's kind of like,
That's right.
what am I doing
That's
here?
right.
You know what I mean? What is my purpose here tonight? Let me go out and
Exactly.
get some numbers. Let me just have a good time.
That's right.
Just have a couple drinks
Yeah.
with my buddies and
That's right.
call it a night. If I get
Exactly.
lucky, I get lucky. But nowadays, it's kind of like, people want to show off, and it's kind of like a
Yeah.
competition. It's like, who's the hardest guy, who's the best dressed, and
Yeah.
who's the
Bottle
biggest
wars.
celebrity with the most social media followers. Just the whole
Yeah.
dynamic just feels like it's a little bit, it's way different now. So I
Yeah.
agree with
Yeah.
that.
You're 100% right. The one thing I noticed too is the bottle wars. Before we used to go to the club, you wouldn't really see bottle wars. Those guys would have drinks, maybe you'd have guys with a few bottles, but they would be in their own section and they would have their girls in the VIP, you know what I mean, and whatnot. Cool, but outside of that, you'd be able to navigate through the club, be able to conversate with different females and have your drink in your hand, and basically be able to conversate and navigate the club, and just you would have a great time. Nowadays, it seems like everyone's trying to be a celebrity, especially in like it just doesn't matter where you are at this point. In the Americas, North America, I would say outside of Vegas, pretty much it's virtually the same everywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. Even small
Yeah,
towns, big towns, no matter where you go, it's kind of like the same dynamic. But I will say this:
yeah,
I definitely had some good nights. Even in the last
yeah,
5 years,
yeah,
I've definitely had some good, solid nights in clubs,
yeah,
New York and Vegas,
yeah,
Houston,
yeah,
a couple in Toronto as well too.
yeah. That's
Again,
right.
few and far between, especially in Toronto, right? But
Yep.
they had, yeah, it's really gone downhill in Toronto, I must say.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Gone are the days of the government, where you used to walk in there on
Oh,
like a weekend like Caravana, and you used to walk out of there with like 30 plus numbers, easy.
oh yeah. Easy.
Combined,
Yep. Yep.
100 numbers combined for the weekend. You know what I mean? The dynamics
It's
change
true.
with social media. Um,
It's true.
so it's a different animal we're dealing with. But again, we have to learn how to adapt, and I feel like it's doable. But again, as people age, we don't really have that much time to kind of get out there, But
It's true.
again, it would be a lot easier as you get older if those same spots were still around. But everything just keeps changing downtown. It's like a
Changing.
new club every day, and it's like
It's true.
it's just the vibe is kind of like changed. Once a club
Changing.
changes and it disappears and a new one comes up, the whole vibe changes.
Vibe changes. You're right. I've noticed I would say every like every between 3 to 3 years, between every 3 years, the vibe just
Mhm.
changes in the club. I don't know what it is. Like they'll have a good 3 year run, and all of a sudden the vibe just changes. Like, you know what I mean? The energy. I'm sure, yeah, for sure, the crowd is the age group, the age demographics are going to change and stuff like that. But I mean, like as far as energy, and also I noticed another thing. The One of the biggest things I've noticed is the fact that there is um there's this there's like smaller clubs now. They used to have these big size in the city, big size nightclub. Like now everything is in small venues, almost like in little bars or nightclub, little restaurant type style venues where it could maximum capacity could fit maybe about 3 to 4, 500 people in there. And 500 is like body to body contact. You can't even really move, but roughly around 300 people. And it's just clubs are smaller sizes. It's just like, I don't know. What do you think about
Yeah,
that? The change of this, they don't have the mega clubs no more. Like the
yeah,
6,000
they
government
don't.
nightclub, six
Yeah.
thousand people. Yeah,
Hmm.
it was like outside of Sound Academy, which is like a concert theater or a concert hall type style. They have some clubs in there, but it's mostly for performances and stuff like that. There's nothing else like that.
Especially not in the downtown core, in
Yeah,
our city. So, but
yeah,
I forgot there was a point that I missed earlier. I feel like with the bottle wars, I feel like there was a point in time where I felt like it was mandatory to get a bottle in the
yeah.
club, but then after a while,
That's
it's
right.
kind of like it kind of really changed. Where it was like it was mandatory, then it wasn't
Yeah.
mandatory, and now it really came back, and it's super mandatory now.
Hmm.
It's like, what's the
Hmm.
point of even going out if you and your buddies don't have like a good solid like couple bottles? It doesn't even really make
Couple
sense, right?
hours.
So,
It's true.
um, but yeah, again, like the whole bottle dynamic, I don't really. Sometimes I think it's good, but sometimes it's not really for everybody because
It's
some
true.
dudes can't control their liquor. and for them to consume
Oh,
that
come
much
on.
alcohol, they can't,
Yeah,
they're not going to lose focus of the task at hand. You know what I mean?
that's
And
right.
that's happened
That's
many
right.
a
That's
times, right?
that's
So
right.
it sometimes it's good, but sometimes it doesn't serve the
Yeah,
purpose correctly.
yeah. That's right. You're 100% right on that. That's one thing that I noticed. Yeah, a lot of guys don't know how to control the liquor. They get sloppy drunk, and then on top of that too, it's just like, yeah, they lose task at hand, and they potential pulls for the night. They end up losing those because the fact that they're drinking too much, or they're intoxicated, or they're high on cloud nine, or whatever that case may be. So as far as what techniques would you give to guys coming into the club? Like, how would you what would you say the best ways to work the club is? Like going in there, getting approaches, maybe getting pulls for the end of the night, getting numbers, et cetera, et cetera. Like, how would you your style of
My
working the
style, I
club?
would
What
say,
would you?
like,
Yeah.
you gotta go in there with the mentality of succeeding. Like, you gotta go in
Hmm.
there ready to do
Hmm.
damage. You gotta go in
Hmm.
there everything laid out. You gotta think
Yeah.
about logistics. You gotta think about
Yeah.
um you gotta look good. You gotta prepare. You gotta, your beard has to be shaved. If you have a beard, your hair has to be looking good. Your
Hmm.
clothes has to be looking good. You have to smell
Yeah.
good. You have to be clean.
Yeah.
You make, if, like, not to say you have to be like a buff guy, but like
Yeah.
certain toxins release in your brain when you do get a good workout, per se. You know what I mean? So maybe
Yeah.
you want to, like, if you're going out Friday, you want to get some good workouts in during the week, so your
That's
body's
right.
feeling good. So I think
That's right.
things like that play a good part before making sure that you're prepared for the club. And then
That's right.
once you're at the club, you want to get there early. You don't want to get there super late so that you can't see kind of
Hmm.
all the girls who are coming in, who the single girls
Hmm.
are, who are the girls that came
Hmm.
with dudes. Um,
Hmm.
you also want to make sure you got money in your pocket. You don't want to be
That's right.
walking in the club with lint in your pocket, especially if it's a club that,
That's right.
it's a bottle
That's right.
situation. You want to make
Yeah.
sure you have enough for a bottle for yourself, or if it's you and a
Hmm.
couple of your buddies, you want to make sure you have enough to drink, especially if
Yeah.
you're going to be giving girls drinks here and there.
Hmm.
And then you gotta want to attack. If you gotta go in there with that attack mentality. You gotta go in there and attack the
Hmm.
basket. You know what I mean? You gotta
Hmm.
think of it like a basketball game. Like, you gotta go in there.
That's right.
You might go 8 for 14, but you still walked out of there with like 20, 28 points. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm. That's right.
and that might lead to a kill same night,
That's
whatever,
true.
or
That's true.
whatever. That
Valid
might
point.
lead to you smashing, per se. That might lead to a
Yeah.
smash the same night. Might lead to a
That's right.
smash the next day. Just depends on what you're
Hmm.
looking for. If the
That's
logistics are
right.
really good, you maybe want to go for a smash the same night. Logistics aren't too
Uh,
good, maybe a smash the next day. Maybe, and
yeah.
again, you want to start planting those seeds in the girls' heads too. So you
Yeah.
want to make sure that as you're approaching, you want to make sure that you're in a nightclub setting. You always want to know what's going on later. You want to know what these girls are doing after. She's with
Yeah.
friends. What you're, like, you want to
Yeah.
get a good idea of the dynamics and the logistics and stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like that's the best way to success. And if you don't succeed, you don't want to run. You don't want to be a crybaby or a sore loser about it if you don't get your own way. That's another thing. You got a lot of guys who feel like, a
That's
sense of
true.
entitlement and kind of feeling like the world owes them something
Yeah.
just because, they prepared for
Yeah.
something and they didn't get the results that they wanted. So you got to have a
That's
good
tough. Yeah.
mentality too. Like, you got to be in a good headspace in order to achieve maximum results.
That's true. Valid. Valid point. Valid point. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like I've seen that in the past where a lot of guys will come in there with the mindset of like, oh yeah, I'm ready, I'm juiced up. And they get into the club and it's a straight dud. And then at the end of the day, they're all pissed off and their energy's messed up. And they're like, hey, nah, guys, don't be a beta male, man. That's beta male syndrome, man.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You can't. You got your mom's breast milk is not active anymore, bro. You're not. You know. You're not being. You know what I mean? This isn't. No. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? You gotta get go put in your reps. Go put work on whatever you gotta work and come back the next night, bro. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Nobody's pacifying you, bro. Like that's, bro. You're not entitled to anything. You see what I'm saying? So on another note, like what would you say, like, person, like, what would you say is the best way to get reps? Because some guys come in the club, I've seen with my own eyes, some guys come in there, they think, oh, everything is gonna smooth, they're gonna walk out of there, they're fucking, you know what I mean? And then they walk in there and it's just like, oh shit, they don't even know where to start, man. They're like, oh, where do I go? They start freezing up, they start, by the time you know it, the club's done, and they're like, damn, you see what I'm saying? So, like, how do you get the reps to be ready for a night out? Like, what would you suggest? Where's the best way to get reps? Like, I'm talking about, as far as reps, people don't know what reps are. People don't know what reps are. Reps are basically like being able to have approaches, being able to cold approach, being able to make sure, I mean, you can go out there and perform in the club, because you can't just walk in there one day and all of a sudden think, oh, I got it. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, nah, it doesn't work that way. You feel me? Let me tell you something. Tom Brady or Peyton Manning didn't just all of a sudden pick up a football and start throwing it at her. Yeah, bro. They put in that work. You got to put in that work before you even walk into that damn club. So, what would you say is the best way to get those reps?
I feel like life, just overall life,
Uh,
is just reps.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you can approach women anywhere. Like,
yeah,
it's not like it's against anything to just, say what's up,
yeah,
say hi,
yeah.
especially if you see something that you
Facts,
like, give a compliment.
facts,
Um,
facts.
it can start with just as simple as a compliment, and then it can grow to down the line you having full out conversations. But you gotta try. You gotta put in that effort. You can't be scared of
Yeah,
rejection. You hear all
yeah,
these pickup coaches talking about fear of rejection, stuff like that. That's really
yeah,
true. You can't be scared to be
yeah.
rejected. You know what I mean?
Facts,
Even at the malls, in restaurants, grocery stores, lineups,
facts,
anywhere. Anything can be a
facts.
conversation too. You can be just looking,
Yeah,
you can just anything. You know what I mean? As long as you just get that
yeah,
anxiety out of you, I feel like that's the best way to get reps. And don't be all mad and emotional when you don't get your own way, right? You can't be, as you said, like your mom's breast milk. This is not the place for that, man. Like
yeah,
that's done. That
yeah,
is, nobody feels sorry for you. Nobody's be sympathetic for you.
yeah,
It might go
yeah,
good, it might go bad, but you gotta live to
mhm,
fight another day. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I feel like that's the best way to kind of like think of it.
Mhm.
Your mind has to be right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, man. Like, I would suggest the best way to get reps is basically, I would say, do cold approaching. So go to like your local whatever, I don't care, your local shopping center, go to the library, go to the local park, go to the local colleges or the local universities, and start approaching different women from different age demographics, different types of racial dynamics, whatever. I don't care. Just approach as much women as you can and start knocking off conversation with them. And what the end game is to get the phone number. If you can get the phone number, that's how you get approaches. That's how you get reps. Once you get the phone number, that's how you get reps. As far as once you get the phone number, we'll get into that later. But right now, we're talking about how to get reps in and how to approach. So get as much reps in. You see what I'm saying? So, like, approach everywhere you can. I don't care if you're in a supermarket. I don't care if you're in a damn line somewhere. I don't care if you're damn there in church. You see what I'm saying? Or the synagogue, bro. You know what I mean? Or damn there, your little freaking. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you're at. You can approach, man. Chicks are everywhere, bro. There's more women than men on this planet, so you can approach. And this game is universal. It's not a racial thing or age, or not an age thing, but a racial or age or anything, bro. It doesn't matter, bro. As if you're a man, you can approach anywhere in the world as long as you have your mouthpiece, a cell phone. You see what I'm saying? You can go. You feel me? That's it. So yeah, man. Yeah. So outside of that, though, what you call it? What would you say is what would you say is like the what would you say right now as far as pandemic with the club not being open? Where would you say guys can get approaches? Like, where would you not approaches, but like what would you say is the best way to do game during the pandemic? Because right now, no nightclubs are open. So some guys be like, "Oh, there's no clubs open. What do you want me to do?" So
Hmm.
what else would you do? Like, what else suggestions or solutions would you have for
It
guys
depends on
who
your
still don't
lifestyle,
have
right?
anything or
What do you like? It depends on what you're into or what do you do. It's kind of like,
yeah,
let's say you're into
yeah,
you're into riding bikes, you're bicycling, you're a cyclist. You got to find out where all the cyclists are going in your area and try to
Yeah.
approach there.
Yeah.
Let's say you're a runner. You gotta find out maybe the best paths to run in your area and see if you can see
Mhm.
anybody on your run and your daily goings.
Mhm.
I feel like you just
Yeah.
gotta incorporate your lifestyle into your pickup. You
Yeah.
gotta mesh the two. The two have to kind of blend together. Um, there's a certain you like coffee, for example. Hit up the local Starbucks. See if you can see anybody in the line. Go there a couple times. So now you got three things to do for the day. You got to get your coffee. You got to go to you're going on a run later, and yeah. So maybe you got to go cycling after that. Who knows? Maybe you just have a kind of a free day, a day off. So along that way, if you do see something, you got to be ready. So you can't be looking like, you got to be looking up to par. You got to be looking the part. Um, what else? Let's say you drive a car, you want to make sure your car is clean. You just want to make sure that you look good and you look ready. You stay ready. You don't let, what do they say in New York City? You don't let your gun get warm. You know what I mean? You got to keep your gun hot. So, yo, that's,
Facts.
don't let your
Facts.
gun get cold. You know what I mean? So you got to just keep it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta just stay ready. You know what I
That
mean?
shit.
Just in your dailies,
I mean,
you gotta stay ready.
stay ready. That's right, man. That's right, man. Like for me personally, I would suggest for guys, listen, the pandemic's going on, but you could still go out and do things. You still can go out and approach, bro. You go to the damn Walmart. People are going in there buying their freaking, you see what I'm saying? Their fruits and veggies. Like he said, there's Omari Styles said it. Bike riding, if you're bike riding, it's girls riding up and down everywhere. Bikes are the hottest thing right now. Um, Another thing, you can another parks. You can go to parks, just make sure you have your mask on. You see what I'm saying? Just tell her, hey man, with this COVID thing, you don't look awkward walking to a girl with a mask on. Just let them know, hey, I think you look attractive. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if you have COVID or not, but I'm still have I need to have my mask on. I need my clothes on. What's your name? What's your number? Maybe you could sit down and have a conversation with her and then take her number down and then just hit her up from there. You see what I'm saying? That's it. Or you could also go to, like you said, the coffee shops, Starbucks, Second Cup. They seem to be open. They
Yeah,
opened up. You know what I mean? Things are slow, but they're open. So
yeah,
girls are gonna go there and get their damn lattes and their damn whatever, their shakes or whatever, and their
yeah.
coffees and stuff like that. Yeah, you go to a park. You know what I mean? We're not. I don't listen. We're not going to sit down here and tell you to go on Tinder or freaking Bumble or whatever. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you something. We want you to get approaches. You're not getting approaches on Tinder. You're not getting approaches on Bumble. You're not getting approaches on those other sites. You see what I'm saying? So any dating app, no, that's not how you know. Because you know what? You're not working on your social skills. You can't sit on you're texting a girl that you've never seen before, talking about where you don't know if that's even a girl, if that's a freaking, that could be a freaking a dude playing a trick on you. You know what I mean? Having trolling you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Guys are just trying to pull the wool over everybody. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it could be a chick joking around. You don't know. You see what I'm saying? So the only way you'll know is if you actually see a girl on the street and you walk up to her. I don't care where it is. You walk up to her, you get her phone number down. You see what I'm saying? This game applies to anyone. You could be in Timbuktu, you could be in Kuwait, you can be in North Korea. Game is game. It's universal, bro. If it's either you have it, you don't. It's like a knife, man. It's like a gun, bro. If either you got it when you don't. So it's something you need in your arsenal. Game is something it's essential you need in your arsenal. That's how most majority of if you want to figure out how does that guy have that kind of girl? Sometimes you'd be surprised, bro. He got more game than you think. He might not look like the flyest guy, but damn there, he was able to go up there and spew some game, bro. Yeah, I'm sure every girl's on Tinder, all this, that, and the third. But yo, the reality is, let me tell you something. Majority of those girls who are on Tinder and Bumble and stuff like that, they don't even end up staying with those kind of guys. You know why? Because those guys don't have game. You see what I'm saying? The guy who has game, that's the guy who she wants. She wants the guy who can spit the game and who can go up to her and who's the alpha. You see what I'm saying? Let me
I
tell you something.
agree.
We play sports, bro. We're not these dweebs out here who never played a game, a sport in their life. You see what I'm saying? Jack their penis off to whatever Pornhub or whatever that is. No, we don't do that. You see what I'm saying? We go in, we put in work. We're ex alphas, bro. We're not no dweebs or any 6 foot plus type of guys. So at the end of the day, we know what we're talking about. When we're talking about game, we're ex alphas. We understand the importance of sports. We understand the importance of approaching. We understand the importance of life. We understand the importance of a lot of different things and aspects of life. So approaching is key. You approach, good, solid game. It works miracles. It'll take you to places you never even thought you could go. Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
So
And
yeah,
I mean, there's a time and a place for Tinder and Bumble, but
yeah,
that shouldn't be your go-to. That shouldn't be your A. That shouldn't be your A. That's your like your number one go-to is just opening up an app because as
you're
you said,
lazy, bro.
man, like there's 10 million people on that app, man. Like it's just like finding a needle in a haystack. Hey, everybody has their success. Everybody has their
Yeah,
success on there. And I mean, if that's what you do, hey, by all means do it. But what are you gonna do when everything opens back up? And then you have no game whatsoever. All you have is just a whole bunch of swipes and likes and text conversations. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's not good enough, man. Like you just gonna look like a straight weirdo in real life, but like you got all these Bumble connects and stuff like that. I mean, that doesn't really hold no value for me. Like, or I mean, a lot of people doesn't hold value for. Like, so what? You got a whole bunch of likes. You got a couple kills, but like, let's be realistic. That ain't really. That's not like a real. It's like if the Lakers win the championship this year. It's not really a real championship. You know what I mean? We won it in a shortened lockout season. Like it's not really doesn't really count. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just feel like Bumble and Tinder. That's kind of like that's child's play. You know what I mean? Like you want to graduate to the big boy leagues. You got to be able to do it on Tinder, Bumble, in person, wherever at the grocery store. You got to have a well-rounded game. Let's just say that. I feel like you got to have a well-rounded game. You can't just use your right hand. You got to be able to use your left. You know what I mean? You got to be able to use all types of different scenarios, tactics, to create success for yourself.
That's right. And people need to realize too, you can go on Bumble and swipe, but if you have no game, when you meet the chick is gonna want to leave you in 5 seconds. She's gonna be like, okay, you know what, date is over. Because at the end of the day, she'll meet another guy. She'll probably go out later that night and meet a guy with you. You see what I'm saying? Trust me. And it's not about how much money you have either, because at the end of the day, money's not the listen, everybody got money. It's 2020. If we want to talk the money game, it's still not gonna listen, chicks will see through that and be like, oh, you got money? Go buy me this, buy me this, buy me that until you get the hell out of here. So it's not about the money aspect. It's about the game. It's about the confidence. It's being able to approach. It's being able to hold conversation. It's being able to have girls see you and look in the eye. It's girls being able to feel that affection. Girls noticing. And that's what's going to turn girls on. That's when I have the females being like, you know what? I like this guy right here because this guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. And he knows where he's going. So at the end of the day, the most important thing as a male, a lot of you guys need to understand for any guys, all the guys out here, does any guys watch this video in the future? You see what I'm saying? This future is going to be prevalent today. It's going to be prevalent 30, 40 years from now, 50, 60, 100 years from now. Game is always going to be here, bro. Game was here before both of me and myself and Omari Styles were alive, and it's before we were alive, and it's going to be here after we're gone, bro. It's never going anywhere. So it's important to have this stuff down pat. You see what I'm saying? Straight up, man. You see what I'm saying? Like my guy Omari Styles and we have a lot of things coming in the future for a lot of guys. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of you guys need to be informed and start paying attention to this channel, start seeing what's coming because a lot of stuff coming. We're gonna have stuff coming for you guys that you guys can benefit from. You see what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind and always remember, game is important, bro. So I mean, Omari Styles, let them know. Tell him, just tell him about some of the places you've been as well, and just tell him like the differences you've noticed in dynamics and what your game was able to do in those places and whatnot. You know what I mean? You don't have to tell us too much, but you can just let them know where you've been as far as clubs, nightclubs, and as far as different cities and how you applied your game in East Coast. And your game's been perfect universal. It's been able to use it thing everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you hot, like first and foremost, you can't do as much damage in the cold as you can do in the hot, right? So I've been to Dominican Republic, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to a bunch of different islands, I've been to a bunch of cities on the East Coast, of course Canadian cities and stuff like that, and I feel like the heat brings out the heat in the women, right? So basically you can't really do as much damage in the cold as you can in the heat, so keep that in mind. You know what I mean? When you're trying to get your finances in order. you may want to plan for something.
That's right.
You may want
That's
to
right.
plan for
You're
something.
right on that.
So I feel like even when I went to New York a couple years ago in 20, I think it was 2018. Dude, I was getting pulled left, right, and center, man. I don't know what it was about that year. You know what? Actually, I do know what it was. I was ready. I was prepared. I was confident. I remember going to New York a few times prior. I think it was maybe in 2016 and 2015. I went for maybe like 2 years in a row. And then I didn't go for like 1 year in a row. And then the next year, I'm like, yo, I gotta go back. And I just told myself, yo, I'm going to New York and I'll be back in a couple of days. I just told myself that. It was as simple as that. And when I got down there, I swear to you, bro, I went to so much different parties. I talked to so much different chicks. I met chicks from all over America, from Chicago, New York, different boroughs. You know what I mean? Ended up just having a great time. Let's just put it like that. I had a great time out there. Went to different day parties. I went to night parties. I went to the parade. It was actually Labor Day weekend. I went to the parade. It was really good because I just knew what I was walking into. I knew I'd never been for Labor Day, but I've been hearing so much about Labor Day. I've been for Memorial Day, and I just know that time of the year, New York is a hotbed for just hot, beautiful women. Like, so I just made sure that I went on that weekend. I was there. I was prepared. I had my Airbnb. Everything was good. I was looking at parties. I was on my way down there. So when I got down there, I just knew what I wanted to do. And pretty much me and my homeboy, we just followed the same routine every day. We just woke up, we did our thing, and that was pretty much it. We had a great
That's
time.
right.
So I feel like you got to be prepared. And yeah, New York was one of my better recent trips. Yeah, I went to Mexico. What was it, last year? Had a good time over there. But yeah, I would say New York, Mexico. That's just in the last like few years. I went to Vegas. Vegas was a really fun time as well. And again,
Vegas.
everything is all about logistics and just being prepared, being ready. And those are the main things you want to make sure. And you want to go to hot climates too. You don't really want to plan trips in the wintertime. Wintertime is kind of like a write-off. You might as well just spend that time with your loved ones. You know what I mean? Because, and you know, and of course that will give you more flexibility when summertime does come. So
that's right. That's right.
Even a couple Caravanas. I feel like a couple Caravanas. That's if anybody doesn't really know. In Toronto, they have a yearly carnival, and it's called Caravana. And pretty much the whole city's pretty turned up that weekend. There's a whole bunch of parties. Celebrities be coming down. There's day parties, night parties. There's a parade on the Saturday. And yeah, even Caravana, pretty much every year something goes on at Caravana. I would say maybe only 2 years out of the last 6 or 7 years something didn't go down, but like there's a lot of hot chicks in town that time of the year, and yeah, it usually gets cracking.
That's right. That's right. So like outside of, I know you even been overseas. Like I know you were in Europe. You did. You were in the United Kingdom and Britain, London.
Oh
You've
man,
been plenty places.
England. I had a great time in England. I know. I feel like when those English girls, I'll be honest with you, when they hear that you're from Canada, it's not really a myth over there. Like I wouldn't say, yeah, it's not a myth per se. Like, it's not a myth. It's really true. When they hear you're from Canada,
Right.
not to say they're gonna like jump in the bed with you, you know what I mean? But at the same time, they're gonna really be interested. Like, oh shoot, you're from Canada, really interesting. Like, let me give this guy a little bit more time of day. You know, they do stick to their own though. They do like their own. They do stick to their own, but they're really friendly people. And I shit you not. I had one of the more unforgettable experiences out there.
Experiences in the UK. That's right. That's right.
One of the more unforgettable experiences, and I still, yeah, and even when I went to Mexico, I met some people from the UK, and it's like, yo, I need to get my ass back to the UK. I was supposed to go this year, but super pandemic kind of messed up my whole plans. But who knows? We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
UK definitely.
Yeah, as far as the future of like so do you, in your take, do you think the pandemic is going to change the way people go to the club in the future with this whole social distancing stuff? Or do you think this social distancing stuff will eventually go away, let's say by like 2022? Or like, because, you know, there's some young guys out here, 19, 21, 2022, they hadn't really even tasted the club yet. They're still itching, and they're like, "Fuck, this pandemic came. It's like, well, what am I gonna do? Like, what's going on with me?" You see what I'm saying? So it's like, do you think that this pandemic and with this COVID-19, do you think it's going to change, or do you what would you say? What changes do you expect? Because we know there's going to be some sort of change as far as the way people go to the club and stuff. What do you think will change?
Man, it's sad to say, but I hope it doesn't come to this. I pray it doesn't come to this, but you might have to get chipped up or vaccinated before you can go into the club. That's the
Ooh,
one thing I'm thinking. I hope it doesn't come
ooh.
to that. I pray it doesn't come to that. I mean,
Yeah,
it might be up to us,
mhm,
everybody to kind of come
yeah,
together and kind of,
yeah,
get against that shit. But
yeah.
I feel like that could be one of the major changes.
Mhm.
Outside of that, I can't really see much changes. What else
Changes.
can they? I'm just trying to think about what else can they implement? I feel like
You
I've
think? Do
heard
you
some
think
things, but
social media? Do you
yeah,
think social media? Because from what I'm seeing is, I don't know. I'm seeing like some bizarre stuff, virtual
yeah.
parties, virtual
Mm-hmm.
nightclubs. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think is that going to be the norm? I don't know. That to
That
me,
would be some real lame shit. If they started doing that, oh my
yeah,
gosh. How you have a
yeah,
virtual club? Oh
because
my
they're doing
gosh.
that right now. I've seen a
Yeah.
few of that virtual parties, and there's like one DJ, and everyone has their headsets, and they're just like this.
Mm.
I and they're just everyone's just, and I'm just like, what is the nah, man?
I
This
mean, I
nah.
think if you're talking about a silent party, I've never been to a silent party.
No,
So,
I'm talking about a webcam party. Like
oh no,
literally,
even
people just
worse. Like, yo,
yeah.
no,
I've
no,
seen it. I
that's
seen what I was like.
yeah,
I seen it.
that's not for me, man. I mean, this is cool. Like, being able to talk to you, talk like this is cool. But like,
Yeah,
this is not a party. This cannot turn into a party.
saying the same thing, man.
This is a conversation, not a party. Like,
I'm,
two
s- I'm,
different
s- I'm, s-
dynamics. Like, I don't know. It's
I'm
just
saying
like,
the I'm saying the exact same thing.
mm-hmm,
This is not a party at all. So it's a
mm-hmm,
little bit bizarre to me what I'm seeing right now. So, but you know what? This pandemic thing opens a whole new floodgates. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully that just turns into a thing of the past, and people actually
yeah,
will. I'm sure people will go wild. We just need to figure out what's going on as far as like, will this whatever, the whole controversy with the waves and all that other shit. But as far as, we just gotta make sure that, like, we gotta, as people, we still gotta stay sharp as steel. We still gotta make sure
mm-hmm,
that our game is on point, regardless. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, let's be real. The club is one aspect of the game.
yeah,
We're gonna go into other aspects in future episodes of different places, and different types of places where you can perform that you do that outside of this club is just nighttime or daytime party, or yeah, nighttime or daytime parties. That's it. But there's other avenues. There's other places where you still got to perform. If you got to perform, your game has to be sharp as steel, man. Tom Brady, when the pandemic was going on, Tom Brady was going to parks. He was going to like damn their parks with like monkey bars and swings and stuff, and still throwing getting his workouts in. These guys are like, no, we'll play football. Lamar Jackson the other day was playing beach football with his boys. You see what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? Fell over a jet ski. You know what I mean? Like these guys still got to get their rep. Game is game, man. Like people leave a game is game, man. You can't
yeah,
just perform at one place and think, oh,
mm-mm.
that's it. Bro,
No, it doesn't work like that.
doesn't
Yeah,
work that way, man.
not at all. I agree. I agree 100%, man. Like, it just like you just can't get into that mentality of thinking that you could hit a home run. You know what I mean? Every single time you come up to the bat, like nobody hits for 1,000. Nobody in all of MLB history. Who had the highest batting average for one season? Maybe like 400 and something for the
Yeah,
whole season. You know what I'm saying? So nobody hits 1,000. Everyone's gonna strike out here and there. And anybody who comes out here and tries to tell you that, like you're not gonna get rejection every now and then. You're not gonna run into a couple of situations. You may be talking to a girl's boyfriend. Who knows? And you don't even know it. And then he might want to like swing on you or something. Who knows? Who knows what can happen? But
exactly.
that's why you got to stay sharp. So, also, like I said, you got to stay sharp out here. So anything happen, you got to do your reps. You got to stay
Yeah,
sharp. You got to stay in physical shape, mental shape. You can't hang around hanger-oners. Sorry, that's not the right. People that just want to like drain your energy per se. People that come out with you and don't want to like contribute at all
Approach.
to
They don't want to approach.
to the game per se, or be good wingman. Like you got to get those guys out. You got to cut the dead weight. You got to cut
Dead
the
weight,
fat
bro.
and cut the dead weight.
Dead
You
weight.
see what I'm saying? You got to.
Honestly, bro. Honestly, we're gonna be having a game. We're gonna have an episode. An episode. We're gonna have an episode soon on the importance of a wingman and what characteristic traits do you need to have to be a good wingman? Because I don't care what anyone says, you're going to be a wingman. There's going to be a time in your life you're going to be a wingman. Trust me. If you're as a man, if you think, oh no, I'm never going to be a wingman. Oh yeah, even females. You go to a club and there's even females that are good wing females or wingmen as well. You see what I'm saying? Females even understand that role. As a man, you need to understand that role because being a good wingman can do a lot for you. It can determine if you're gonna get play that night. It can determine if you're gonna get that number. It's gonna determine if you could hold your own. It can determine if you know how to work in a team chemistry. It can tell if you know how to work in the club. So the importance of the wingman will be coming soon. Best believe we're gonna have an episode.
Very important. To have a good
Yeah,
wingman is very important. You don't
yeah,
want to even
important.
have.
Yeah,
Sometimes you might not even want to go out with more than one wingman because that
yeah.
other wingman might change the whole dynamic of
That's
you
right.
and the
That's right.
original wingman. So
That's
you
right.
got to keep
That's
that
right.
into a fact. You got to keep that in a factor as a factor as well. And
That's right.
you don't want to have to like. Sometimes you might get into a situation where you could go in now with your buddies and you might have to drop a guy home. You don't even want to have to like deal with that sometimes. So you might have to say, hey, look, nah, bro, take a Uber or I'll see you down there or something. You know what I mean? And if
That's right.
anything,
That's right.
if nothing's going on, no, I can't even promise you a way back, brother. Like you
Yeah.
got to be able to do
Yeah,
that for
text me.
yourself. You see what I'm
Hop on a
saying?
cab
Because
ride.
I got
Hop on
something
a cab.
going on here. I
All
gotta
right.
I gotta connect the dot right now.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? I
That's right.
can't wait. I can't be
That's
driving
right.
you all the way to the other side of town. Like I got to do this right
That's right.
now. So
That's right.
you got to watch out for that dead weight.
That's right.
Wingmen's are key. Wingmen's are key. If you
That's
know
right.
you're rolling with a dude and every time you guys go out, nothing happens, or like you guys just ended up, just nothing happens per se. Not to say nothing happens because for a lack of, not to say nothing happens for a lack of effort per se. If the effort is there, no problem. But if you guys go out and like the chemistry's not there and nobody's approaching chicks, you're not encouraging each
Yeah.
other. You're just kind of like ragging on each other, and you know what I mean. It's just like not a healthy environment. It's pretty toxic per se. You
That's
know
right.
what I mean? Then
That's right.
yeah, I remember one time me and you we went to a concert downtown to watch
We'll save that. We'll save that. We'll save that one.
that
That
was a
one's
crazy night right there.
crazy.
You see what I'm saying?
We'll
From the
save that.
beginning to the end, that was a crazy night. You see what I'm
Hold
saying?
that one.
But
We'll
I
save
just
that.
remember that like that was solid. That was a solid night.
So
You know what I mean?
it's
And I
important to
guess
have a
we'll get
good
into that.
wingman.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into
Well, it's
why it was
important.
a solid night.
We'll
But
get into that for the importance of a wingman. But hold that thought though.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
because
A lot of
there's a
things
lot of
happen that night.
we have a lot of game. We have a lot
Yeah,
of game skills. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna even have a lot of different things as far as classes and all types of other stuff,
for
training
sure.
guys, and we're gonna have a lot going on. But we're gonna have start leaning towards that. We're gonna even show infield, and we're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff. We got a lot coming.
Absolutely.
We have a lot coming. So also another thing I was gonna ask you as well. In 2020, explain the importance of being active in shape so you can go out and perform at your best. Because a lot of guys think that they can literally just roll off the bed, put on some clothes, buy a freaking outfit at damn they're wearing a whole Gucci outfit and thinking that's enough for them to be successful that night. So explain, because a lot of guys don't understand the importance of being
Yeah.
active, being in good shape, and going out and performing.
Yeah. I mean, hey, by all means, like you got some offensive linemen that are like, they look out of shape, but they're damn near in better shape than most of the people out here. You know what I'm
But
saying?
there are
So
people out there.
you know what I mean? Sometimes it might not all be about aesthetics, but as long
Mhm.
as you're putting in that work and releasing those certain
Yeah.
what do you call it, endomorphs, whatever you call them, out of your brain, then
Hmm.
that's all that should matter. It shouldn't really matter. Appearance it shouldn't be number one, but it's damn near, it's very high, very high. You can't just roll out of your bed. You see what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
you can't just not feed your brain. You can't be eating a whole bunch of junk food and just like, sweating grease and all types of shit. Like you like that's not gonna help you in the nightclub, man. Like you don't want to be in the club. You ever be in the club and it's like you walk into a certain section, just smells like ass. Like you don't want to be that guy who's like belly's all rumbling and you're kind of like shitting your pants and all this type of shit. Yo, you don't
Yeah.
want all that shit to happen. You're not.
Yeah.
No, okay, you don't
Got,
want that.
got,
So you got to keep
yeah.
yourself in good physical shape, mental shape. You got to be looking good. You got to be smelling good. You got to be feeling good. You know what I mean? You can't get overly drunk. You can't get overly high. You got to keep your goals in
Sure.
mind.
Sure.
And yo, man, it's very important. It's very important to prepare. Preparation is
That's right.
key.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Exactly. Preparation is important. It's important to always stay. I would say stay. I'm not saying and say you got to walk around with a six pack and be
Exactly.
cocktease and swell and I'm not telling you, oh, you got to be in Michael Jordan, Cristiano Ronaldo type shape or you know what I
Exactly.
mean or nobody's saying, bro. You don't have to be looking like freaking Dwight Howard, a specimen or nah, bro. But I'm just saying it's important. And what he's trying to say exactly is it's important to make sure you take care of your physique. Make sure that I mean, if you're walking around here with face looking like I mean, swollen face looking and sporting like a disgustingly huge double chin and belly rolling up now, belly looking, I mean, rolls with the back of the fat in that fat in the neck. Nah, bro, get in the gym, hit that tread, start
Yeah, don't
running,
don't try and put a
lift, pump some iron.
Gucci suit on top of that to cover up all that. You know what I mean? That's not gonna
Because
work.
at the end of the day, let's be Gucci's a European brand, bro. They make it
Hmm.
for a specific fit, specific clientele. That's Europeans tend to be small, slim type of. It's an Italian brand. It's a small, slim aesthetic. They don't make their stuff for triple XL or for 5XL or whatever. You know what I mean? No. So you got to get yourself in shape. And I'm listening. I'm not talking about even for Gucci. It's not about Gucci because Gucci's not helping perform in a club, bro. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? The most important thing is your physique and the way your mindset is going to be able to make you perform out there. So don't think, oh, I got a Gucci belt, and I got a Gucci hat on, or a Gucci sunglasses, or a Gucci freaking robe, or what. Knock it off, man. You see what I'm saying? Knock it off. Girls can see right through that garbage. You see what I'm saying? You can look fly, but at the end of the day, you got to be authentic with it. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking guys who rock that stuff. You could wear that. Nothing wrong with it. Teach their own. You know what I mean? As long as you come looking presentable and you got a good mouthpiece, you'll be able to perform out here. But as far as a man, it's important for you to make sure that your aesthetic and your physical appearance is at its best, it's at its peak. So as a man, make sure that you can build that. I would say go to the gym. Nowadays they have gyms for $8.99 a month, $7.99 a month. There's no excuses, bro. It's not the old days where it's like, oh yeah, my membership is like, $200-$300 or whatever a month, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, bro. $8.99. You can get in there, find a Planet Fitness on every corner on the freaking, come on, bro. You see what I'm
No
saying?
excuses. And again, you
No
don't gotta be in
excuses.
there pumping iron for like 8 hours a day or
8 hours a
five hours a
day.
day. You can go in there just for a good hour, hour and a half.
Go hour
You
and a
know
half.
what I mean? That's
Yeah,
good.
four
Maybe
times a
three,
week.
four
Four
times a
times a
week.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4 times a week.
yeah, you should be all right.
That's all you really need, and you gotta be eating
That's all
good
you need.
too. You gotta be like putting the
Yeah,
onus on yourself to have some discipline,
yeah,
right? Because if you're not
yeah.
disciplined outside the club, how you gonna get that? How you gonna be disciplined enough inside the club
That's right.
to follow your plan per se and achieve your
Hmm.
goals,
Hmm.
right? So
That's right.
it goes hand in hand with life. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Hmm.
being a well-rounded person, is definitely key for males, out here. So
Hmm.
you definitely want to be a well-rounded person, and part of that is everything that El Selector just mentioned, for example. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So
That's right. That's
yeah,
right, man.
you don't want to be walking in
That's
there
right,
with
bro.
like fat in the neck rolls and like
That's right. That's
complaining
right, man.
about that you don't get girls or be
That's right.
paying to get girls or just trying to mask everything
Yeah.
with the Gucci outfit, and you
You
don't want to
should.
be that person. You know what I mean? You want to have and I mean, hey man, if you ever have any questions or you have any concerns, you know, it's
Facts.
something that you need to kind of get off your chest, man. Hey man, feel free to hit the DMs, man.
To
No
DMs.
no
Let them know
problem,
your
man.
Instagram, bro. I'm gonna plug your
Well,
Instagram.
my Instagram, my YouTube, you can find me Omari Styles.
Yeah.
You just type it in. That's my
Omari
YouTube page.
Styles.
If
Okay.
you want to hit me on IG, my IG is Black. Was it Bravado? I don't even. It's Black BLACK underscore Bravado BRAVADO. That's my IG,
There you go.
and that's pretty much the only
There
two
you go.
social medias I'm really on, to be honest with
That's
you.
like
I think I may
hit
have a
them up.
Twitter, but I'm not too
Yeah.
sure. But I may even
Yeah.
change my IG name to Omari Styles in the future,
Styles.
you know, just to kind
Yeah.
of like streamline everything, or I might just start a new page. Who knows? But and
So,
point is, man, I'm available, man. Hit me up, type of
so
thing. And it's like
exactly.
we can really start chopping it up, man. We can really start helping guys
Exactly.
get like a lot of
Also,
like confidence out here and
awesome.
getting their
Yeah.
results, man. You know what I mean? There's a
That's
lot
right.
of there's a lot of people out here who kind of like, I feel like I don't know where they come from per se, so I can't really. I just kind of take them all at face value. There's a whole lot of like other quote unquote
Yeah.
coaches. Not to say that I'm a coach, but
Yeah.
I feel like I have experience. As like they said, it's
That's right.
coming. The content is
Exactly.
coming. You're gonna see
Coming.
it. You know, it's not just going to
Exactly.
be all talk. There's going to be
All
definitely some
talk.
action behind it,
Yeah.
because a lot of
So
these coaches, they just want to talk. You know what I
they
mean?
just
They
want
want
to
to
get out
act
their
like they're
mouth.
not interactive. They just want to kind of sell you something. You know what I mean? Like we actually want to like really, we really want to help guys get like confidence
Exactly.
and results. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of coaches out here. A lot of these guys are, it's the reality is a lot of these coaches don't even have their infield is Maple Leaf infield. So it's not even real infield. What it is they
Exactly.
pay people to do this and they pay people to do that, and they have females coming in there and they have them, everything is staged. It's like, and they're acting. But the reality is you think that they're actually out here performing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually have infield showing you guys how to break down and decipher through situations and scenarios, but also not even just that, but we're also going to have coaching. So we're going to be able to have you sitting down and actually coaching you and stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's why Omari Styles gave you social media. That's why we're even on here right now, because we're at the end of the day, we're going to show you guys the 401 on how to get things done. But not just that only too. We're also going to break down different things and break down different things when it comes to game and break down game in general. So that's the whole purpose behind that. You see what I'm saying? So also what you might call it, um, we're gonna sign out because we're at that hour mark. So
One other thing is that
yeah,
we're going to be doing the live call-ins too. You
the
know what I
live
mean?
call-ins as well.
Live
Yeah,
call-ins. We get people to
the
call
live
in via
call-ins.
Skype and ask you questions.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Drop your
That's right.
concerns, stuff like that. So
That's
going
right.
with that, we're going to be very
Yeah,
interactive, very, very
exactly,
transparent in terms of this whole
exactly,
scenario.
exactly. And this is going to be going up live right after this, so you can also watch the recording of this. You can watch this, pass this out to your friends, pass this out to whomever. At the end of the day, there's a lot of information. It's very informative, that the information we're giving. Bro, who else is giving this information? I don't even see it anymore. Guys aren't even
Especially
talking.
in the
Guys are just
GTA.
yapping now.
Yeah,
We're giving you the bread and butter. Exactly. Just even in the Americas, bro.
even in the
A lot of
Americas
guys.
too.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying there's a
all
lot of
over.
bad guys out here. Yeah, like throughout north and south. I don't know. A lot of guys are just yapping. I don't. A lot of guys come on this and they yap. We're gonna actually have some coming up for you guys. So pass this out, send this out, send this to even your gurus. Any gurus who are interested in talking with us, we're ready to work with you guys too as well. You know what I mean? If you
Absolutely.
guys are ready to, we can share information, share game as well. And also, if you guys are if you guys are really that serious, we'll even come to your damn city and.
Shut it
So at
down
the
in
end of
your
the day,
own
we're not
city.
afraid of,
Yeah.
yeah, we're not afraid of
Honestly,
nothing. Yeah, we're not afraid
honestly,
of nothing.
that's definitely
Yeah,
something that I would love to do, man.
yeah,
I'd love to go into somebody else's
exactly.
city and just
See, show
take
them
a
what time
steal a
it is.
victory out there. You know what I mean?
Still
Why
the
not?
exactly. Show guys like, hey man, this is and we have a lot, but we didn't even touch the surface. We're just giving you guys a demo. So pay attention, subscribe. My guy Omari Styles, we're probably gonna be there. Next time we're gonna be doing this on Omari Styles page. So we're
Yeah.
gonna be back and forth through different pages, sharing information, shooting out different content and whatnot. So basically just subscribe, L Selector, Omari Styles, and we're gonna be signing out right now. So we'll hit you guys up. We'll see you guys in the future. All right. Take it easy. Peace.
Peace.